Hi and welcome to CorelDRAW 2021. This has only been out a couple of hours. So following the success of the CorelDRAW 2020 video that we did last year, I thought I'd jump straight in and give you a good overview about CorelDRAW. First off, some of the features that are already in it and how to use it very quickly. And then also we're going to touch on some of the new features that are in this release 2021. So if you don't know me, my name's Adi. I own a t-shirt and workwear company in Oxford, and I've been producing t-shirts for about 25 years now. We base our business around CorelDRAW. Most of our equipment is run from it. We use direct-to-garment printers, we use cut vinyl, and we use laser transfer. We also do screen printing and we do embroidery. So we do the whole lot. So this basically is the backbone of our business, CorelDRAW. So as soon as something like this comes out, we're all over it and have a look at it. 2020 was great. Had the introduction there of the layering system, also the enhanced trace. We had the font system as well, so we could do like expandable fonts where you could stretch them around. And in this one now, we've now got a new multi-page export system, so we can export documents in multiple formats. So if we're producing a set of artwork for a customer, for a van, for a website, for some PDF documents, etc., we can export the whole lot in one go, which is really going to cut down on our workflow, which is incredible. We also got a new page system in here where we can view different pages all in one workspace. And finally, the perspective pack now in here as well is making your drawing of different perspective views really simple, and we'll touch on these as we get further through this tutorial. So straight off, we've got across the top here, if you haven't seen this before, the menu system. This is where you've got things like new, open, etc. Underneath there is your toolbar, your menu. So your toolbar where you've got again new, open documents, save, export to PDF over here, that sort of stuff. It's all grayed out because we've not got anything open. And then you've got your properties here as well, where you can add in lots and lots of different things like transform. It shows you sizing. You've got your trace on here. You've got flip, horizontal, vertical for mirroring. So if you are producing vinyl for t-shirt graphics, you need to mirror that. And down the side here, these are your drawing tools. Okay. Over the right hand side, we've got your palettes. And down the bottom, running along the bottom here, you've got your color match color palette tool, which is brilliant, really handy. And here, quick view, so you can jump straight into your fill colors and outline colors, double click on that, open palettes, or change colors as you need. So let's create a new document. So three ways. One, we can click here, new document. We can click on this up here, control new. We can do the shortcut key, control new, or same as the button underneath there, which is new. So let's just click on new document, and you can give that a title. So let's put test Corel 2021. So we've got that here. Now we can use the size, page size, so we can change it to A4. So let's just go with A4 for now. And that shows you the millimeters there. If there's a specific size you want to do, say you're doing a window for a shop, then you can actually just go straight in with a custom, and you can put that in millimeters and view that in real size as well, which is great. So if you took a photograph of a shop window, you could actually put the dimensions in. By the time it gets through to your machinery, it's going to do it actually to scale. So we're going to click OK, and that's going to give us our document. Now if you wanted to rotate this to landscape from portrait, we just click there, and then we've now got a landscape image. Now if you wanted to change the document size, you can either change it here. So if you wanted to make a custom size, you can type it in there, or you can double click on the grey edge there, and you can also bring up a secondary document options tab as well, so you can change what you want to know as well. Okay, so let's just run quickly through some of these tools. We don't want to get bogged down, and we don't want a massively long video drawn out and boring you to death, me droning on. So running down the side here, pick tool. It's what you use to select everything, and you will always keep coming back to this. Your shape tool. To explain the shape tool in a little bit more detail, I'm going to select the rectangle tool and drop and click a box onto the screen. Now we can drag the sides up and down to create the desired sizing and ratio that you want. We can put in here if I want this 120 millimeters by 100 under here. Make sure that the aspect ratio box is unticked, and I could put 100 in there as well. Okay, so that's going to give me now a box of the measurements I wanted. Let's just say it was going to be for something of a specific size. Put my teeth in. Now if I go back to the shape tool, which I talked about on the left hand side, click on that once, and I can come over here and select this node, this point here, and I can click and drag, and we can make that a rounded edge. Okay, so the shape tool here is used for multiple different things. I use it for my Bezier tool when I'm drawing and tracing something, which I'll show you a little bit more detail in a minute. Okay, so on all of these flyout tabs here, on these tools, there's a little flyout. So if you click and hold, it will show you lots of other different things that you can do. So next one down, we've got crop, we've got zoom, we've got pan. Pan also works by pressing the mouse wheel down, and you can drag around like that. The roller on the mouse zooms in and out, and if you want to change any of the configurations, you can go up to options and you can change it in here. Okay, so let's carry on down. Bezier tool. Bezier tool is great for tracing an image. So if I was to come over here, have we got anything that's, yeah, I've got something there which is a perspective view, which is good. So say I wanted to use that to trace. First off, I would lock the object, so I'd right click on an image and I would go to lock. That's going to stop me moving that. Now that's like a piece of glass. So I'm going to then go to my Bezier tool, and I could literally then at this point start clicking and drawing around the objects that I want, like so. Control Z, click there, click there. When you want to close the item, so if you, at the minute, if you wanted to fill that, you wouldn't be able to fill it because the box is open, if you understand what I mean. So if I click on that, you'll see. But if I was to come up here, click on that, then I could actually create something that's actually able to be filled. So let's just get rid of both of these. But delete, unlock that and delete. So showing you how a Bezier tool works. It's one of my favourite ones really. It just gives you a lot more flexibility when you're drawing something. So if I wanted to create something, I could click here, and then here I click down again without releasing the mouse button. It enables me then to pull these handles out, and this is how you can then start to create a shape. So moving in the direction you want to go, if I followed that direction there, I could literally then just keep moving around. And eventually, when we'll get back round to the end, I can close that, close the edge, colour it however I want. Okay, delete. So we've got a square. We've now got an ellipse tool here. So if I click on that, I can put a circle down. Now if I want to make that aspect ratio square, square, so it would literally be, say, 30 mil by 30 mil, I would hold the control key down, and that would enable it always to be, say, 300 by 300. So at this point you can see there it's 47. So as long as the padlock is clicked, I can go in there and type in 30 millimeters, press enter, and you can see that height now and the width is also 30 millimeters. Now if I wanted to not have this as a complete circle, but have this as like a pie shape, then I could click up here on this menu bar, and it would give me the option then to change a section out of this. So if I wanted to make a Pac-Man face, I could literally go put in here 360, and then I could change this one maybe to -2, or actually I could go 360, let's go 350 to that there, and in the top one let's take off 10 degrees on there as well, and then all of a sudden we've got a little Pac-Man there. Now then I can make an eye for him, put that in there, and I can drag a box around both of those items, and I can either press Ctrl G to group, or if I wanted to have that cut out of there, so punched out, I could, let's duplicate that, so Control D. Let's ungroup from the menu at the top. And this one now, I'm going to put a box around it, and I'm going to press Control and L. So the difference between that is they're both objects. This one is two components, so we've here got a circle and the Pac-Man face head grouped together, and this one here, the eye has actually been punched out. Now if I colour this, you'll see that both components, because they're grouped, are now being made to be in the yellow. This one here, you can see that the eye is actually white. Now if I coloured the box behind red, you can see that it's actually got a transparent eye through the middle. See what I mean? Okay, quite cool. So that's something else you can do. Now let's just say I wanted to add some more shapes. I can go to the shapes box here with a flyout. I can add a star. I can press the Control and Shift down, and I can make a 5-pointed star, or I can come to the properties bar up here, and I can make it a 6 or a 7 or an 8. I can change the depth of the actual inner points of the star as well. And here as well, I've got hairline, dotted line, extra thick. So there's lots of little features there you can do as well. There's also some other great common shapes as well. If I click on common shapes up at the top here, we've got a little smiley face, so I can drop that in as well there. And if I wanted to make him a sad face, I can just click and drag like that. Okay, let's make him smiley. Right, so what else we got here? Let's go text tools. So text tools are great. You can click down and start typing straight away. So don't drag a box, just click down and start typing. Hello, this is CorelDRAW 2021. Okay, so let's just say I wanted to make this upper and lowercase. Rather than retype it all in again, I can come back and I can select the text. I can go to text, I can go to change case, and I can go to title case. I can go to lowercase, or I can go to toggle case and make it a bit weird if I want as well. But in this case, I want to make it lowercase just to show you this. Now then, I might want to centralize the text. I might want to change the font type. And I don't really need to worry about the points, because what I can do is just actually resize it as I want. Now if I was worried about making a particular font point height because it was a document for a customer, then what I might be doing is putting in some blocks to have paragraphs of text, go back to the text tool and drop them into here, and then here I can just put like so. So that would restrain that into that point, and if I wanted to actually overflow that into another box of text, once it gets to the bottom there, it gives me an arrow, and I could say, right, in this case, let's get rid of that, let me show you. It's easier to show you than to explain. Right, so here we go. I'm going to put another box of text that might have been a thinner column, because here there might be an image. Okay, so I'm wrapping some text around it. So first off, let's just copy and paste that, so we know now that's gone off the page. Now you can see here that I've got an arrow. So if I paste in some text and I want this to go in there, I can now go and I can then continue the text over to here. So this is one way you can just add a continuous flow of text all the way through. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And now let's go to shadow tool. So if you wanted to add a shadow to the Pac-Man, you could add that here. And if you wanted to add a shadow to this Pac-Man, you could click on here, Oh no, that's doing it to the back of that, that's okay. And that's fine, so I can show you that's feathered at the moment. Up here, what you can see is you can actually change the amount of transparency that you have for the actual shadow itself, so we can turn that right down to it's almost gone, to really, really hard. 100% untransparent at all, set up to 50 in the middle, so it's got a little bit of a blend. We can change the positioning, you know, depending on the light and how it's causing the reflection of the shadow. And then also here we can change how hard it is. So 1 is like a solid, and then right the way up to 100, but I've set it at 50, is blended. So let's bring that down a little bit harder so you can see that. And if I wanted to change the color of that there, then we can do as well. We can just change the color of the shadow like so, which is cool. So lots of different things you can do with that. Also, another great tool is the contour tool. So let's just say Pac-Man needs an outline. Let's come over here, let's move Pac-Man over here, and let's give him an outline like so. So now he's got basically 2 Pac-Mans. Now I could actually break them apart if I wanted to by going Object and then Break Contour Apart, and that will give me the thicker inside line and the outside line. Very handy if you're doing van graphics, you want standoff graphics. But at the same time, if I go EC, I can realign that E and then C by holding both. Let me just do that again. So let's just say I want to make sure they're perfectly aligned centrally. I'll draw a box around both of them, press E then C. Now let's just say I wanted to punch out this top from the bottom. I can do that by hitting this second one here, which is the trim tool. Okay, so highlight both, hit trim, and now I've got that. Now let's say I want to add another contour, but I want to do steps of contours, so lots of them. This one, just add lots and lots and lots of different contours, like so. Looks a bit ridiculous. If I want to get rid of these black lines, then all I do is come over to the palette tool on the right hand side and click the right mouse button, which is the line fill, which is no line fill now. Okay. Okay, what else can I show you on here which is cool? I'll tell you what actually is something that's very, very good and we use quite a lot, is also the envelope tool. So let me put some text in. Let's make this something like Coral 20. I do that every time. Coral 2021. Let's make it a nice heavy font like Impact. Boom, type that in there. Let's move Pac-Man out of the way. Let's just say I want to make this like, let me show you, something like this. Let's give it a bit of an angle. So let's drag this one and this one up. So I'm going to lift this right the way up here and right the way down there. So you can see, get some really good effects with this. You can also, let's just say I'll duplicate that, Control D. I could also, with the envelope tool, make it putty, like so. Yeah, and you can do that with anything as well. So even this square here, I could do that if I wanted to. What else can I show you? So that's some of the basic features. If you wanted to change the color of this, let's just say I wanted to change, find one of the palettes that's included with CorelDRAW, I can double click on this here and I can change from the drop down here, lots of different colors. We've got spot colors. This one here, Roland, is what we use with VersaWorks for telling a machine to print. You've got on here, sorry, not to cut, sorry, print and cut. And also on here we've got, what else we got? Have we got any RGB? So we've got a CMYK palette. What I like about this as well, actually, you can actually just input your own RGB colors as well if you want to. So we can just type that in here, and we can, if we're working on an RGB palette, and the blue for our business is 092185. That's the hex code, which is 005C7F. Press press that, that's the blue that we use for work. And it's sort of like a reflex type blue. So let's go over some of the new features now. So I'm going to jump over to here. So that's when we're going to do perspective in a moment. Let's have a little look at what else we've got. I tell you what is really good. Let's look at the new export feature. So on the right hand side here, we've got, at the moment, we've got the page, and we can here add different dockers. So let's just go, we want to add in objects, which is fantastic for looking at layers. And also let's add the export in as well. So let me talk to you about layers first. So you remember we were talking when we had this one here, we've got a blue layer, and we've got a Pac-Man over the top. Let's keep one of those. Let's get rid of that. 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 There. I do. Okay, so if I look at the objects, I can see that I've got this group of objects here. So at the minute I've got the word Corel 2021. I've got here the Pac-Man, and I've got the rectangle as well. And inside these as well, you'll have your attributes. So this one here, we've got a drop shadow, this Corel, we've got the envelope tool. Okay, so if, let's just say this is a final piece of artwork, and I want to export this as a JPEG, and I want to also export that as a PDF at the same time. The quickest way to do this really would be to go, first of all, let's change the name of the layer. So let's call the layer Coral Pack Man. Brilliant. Okay, and so that will help when we take this now into the export. So let's go to export. I'm going to highlight all of this. I'm actually going to group it, because if I go back to objects now, you can see that is one object group. And here I'm going to say I want to add new. So to the bottom of this Docker, I'm going to click add new, and that's going to bring that across now. And you can see that's actually called group 5 objects. So what I'm going to do here is just change that name in this bit, which was what I should have done, sorry, Coral Pac-Man. The bit above is the actual name of the layers. So if I go back to the export, let's bin that, and let's do that again. So Control A to highlight all of it, output, Coral Pac-Man. So here you can see we've got it as a JPEG to export. Down the bottom here is your preferred export, so like the default setting, whether you want to make it PDFs or PNGs or a GIF. You can select a folder to export it to. So we call that exports there, and we'll select the folder. And here I want to, first off, I've got one JPEG that's at 100% size, so whatever the size is here. Up here it's 180 millimeters by 158 millimeters. And I might want to change that one now to, let's say, let's go with one that's half that size, so 50% at 150 dpi. So what we would do here is we would duplicate this object, and then I click on the cog next to it, and then I would come down to the transformation settings. Wake up, there we go. And here I put the resolution of 150, like so, and scale size, let's whack that in at 50%, and that should automatically change the aspect ratio exactly the same, which it has, and click OK. So now I've got two exports, one that's going to jump out at full size as a JPEG, and one that's going to jump out at 50%. Now here you could put in underscore 100%, and this one here underscore 50%. So that would give you two different options for exporting. When it exports everything together, you'll see it be called Coral Pac-Man underscore 100%, and the other one will be 50. So you know what the size is, so you don't have to go in and rename anything. And then also I might want a PDF as well on there as well, so we could go again, duplicate, and this one I want this as a PDF 100%. Hit export, and we let it do its thing in the background, and let me open that file, documents, and exports, and there we go. So you can see that we've got a PDF, and we've got the 100%, which you can see there, which is a 2 meg, and here we've got one that's half the size. So that one there was, I don't know, 1200 was it? Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Let me get rid of this. So that's really going to help us loads and loads in our workflow, really, and producing lots of different documents. Now also, let's have a look at, let's close this one down. No, we don't want that. We'll talk about that in a moment. Page arrangement. So page arrangement is another new feature here. Again, on the Docker, if it's not shown here, you can press the plus, or you can come up to your Windows and go to Dockers, and then come in and select what you want on here to be shown in the Docker window on the right hand side. So at the moment, if I click on the pages Docker, I can view this as a single page, and here you can see along the bottom we've got page 1, 2 and 3. And over on the side here of the pages, we've got page 1, page 2, page 3. So this is all like a navigation here on the side for you. You can also create a new page at the bottom there. You can create a new page over here as well, to the right hand side of page 1 tab. Now let's just say that you want to let's make a new page. So this one has brought us in a new document size. You can see the size up here. The custom is 900 pixels square, and I want to view all of the pages on one workspace. So I click multiple page view, multi-page view, there you go. And here I might be creating a new document, and so I want to take some of the components from each one of these and add them in. So in this case, let me just let's put a box in. I've got my color palette down here, so I might want a base color of that lilac. I might want these glasses on here, which is great, so I can go Control D and I can bring that across. So I might want those. This flower's cool, Control D, duplicating that, put that in there. So you can see you can quite easily and quickly recreate something. If I bring that over and I'm holding the left mouse button down, and then I click down with the right mouse button, you can see that it actually copies that across. So I don't have to do Control D. That is exactly the same as doing duplicate. So that's quite a nice little feature as well. And then when I drop back to single page views, obviously now my new page 4 is here, and I've got the other documents all ready to go. And again, like we just talked about earlier, we could export those in multiple formats as well for our customer, which is great. So your PDF, so you could create your artwork here for your shop, your van, your t-shirt. You can create your proper generated artwork that's going to be exported for its cut files or printing. And then you can also produce your one of these pages could be a mock-up for your customer to approve, when you could have a template on here. So you could have a t-shirt and you could drop that in. So there's lots of things you could do there. That's probably how we would use it at work. So now let's talk about perspective drawing, which is a fantastic new feature. So when you're looking at perspective drawings, there's lots of different ways of looking at it. So you have the worm's eye view, which is where you look from below and look up, and you've got a vanishing point at the top and a vanishing point at either side. So this could be like here, like a corner of a street, and you'd be looking down each side. This one here is a bird's eye view. So again, you've got looking down on the top and you're looking at both sides. So that's giving you 2 points of perspective view. If you were looking at 1 point of perspective view, it would be like you were looking down a road. And so the vanishing point would be right at the center of the road. Okay, so let's delete that. Okay, so let's grab, first off we're going to, let's get rid of this one and open a new document. We're going to make this one A4 and we're going to make that into landscape mode. We're going to go up to object, perspective and draw in perspective mode. Okay, so we're going to drop down a box. Now this one here, you can see this is a 1 point perspective plane. So we're viewing this here, it's in orthographic mode. we can draw in the top mode. So if we were here to, let's just say we want to put the sky in, which like so, and we could drag that right the way down to the vanishing point. We could make that a nice light blue. We could, if we wanted to, you know, add in a different color there. We could also shade that if we wanted to. So this blue could be a shaded blue. We've got different effects and so on here. We won't get too carried away with it. If we wanted to then put in the sides of the street, for argument's sake, then we switch that now to side view. Click on here, and we would then drag the street view in. So let's just say they were grey buildings either side, like so. So this is giving us our perspective view right the way down. And then I want to put a road in. So the road would come down this way here. So again, for that one, I'm going to be looking at drawing this in the top view. So here I will put in like something like that, pull it all the way down. Like so, make that a black road. Now you can see there that I might need to change the size of that. So I would click on this. Sorry, I messed that up. Let me go back again. I've got the shape tool on. So drop that in, grey there. Let's go back to top and bottom mode, and let's put that in there all the way down. So this, like I say, is one vanishing point, perspective mode. And if we wanted to, let's just get rid of this. So I could click on finish to end that. Didn't do that very well at all, did I? It was rubbish. But let's go back and look at two vanishing points. So perspective mode, draw in perspective, one vanishing point, two vanishing points. So this one here, this could be, for argument's sake, the corner of a building. So we could look at it left mode, right mode, and of course the top mode, and this is the orthographic mode. So here we could have a center point sort of drawing down here of a building. Let's have a little look. Here also as well, you've got different tools to make the opacity of the lines and so on, and how many lines you actually want in here as well. So we could change that to, let's have a look, see what we've got here. A little bit more detail if you wanted to get into a little bit further in that. Let's try doing it a different way. Let's go to the Bezier tool and click on there to there. So this could be the corner of a building, and we could drop that right the way in, and we should be able to, if I've closed that, fill that, yeah. So you can see that this could be a street here, this could be a street here. Let's put this right the way down. You know, it doesn't have to be bang in the center. We'll close that off, and we'll make that grey. So you can see this is a road running right the way through here, and this is the turning point here. And we can add some sky in above if you want. So we might be able to go through the whole thing and see if we can do that all in one go. We can go in with your shape tool and pull that across to make that snap right in there. If you're having trouble actually with it not getting right onto where you need it to, you can come up here to objects, where are we, view, we can go snap to, and we can add in documents, grids, baselines, all sorts of stuff. These sort of things will help you actually draw right onto the points that you want. So we've got the baseline grid, that's really helpful, and it will show you, see where it's snapping straight onto those points, so it'll make your life a lot easier actually as well. I think I just drew a piece around the bottom there, so let's have a little look. This is the horizontal line, so you can have that wherever you want, you know, if you needed to have that somewhere different to start with. Let me go back and Bezier straight the way down to point to point to point. I'll go right to the outside extremities of everything, and then we'll add some, I obviously didn't close that. Control Z. It's not playing with me. Here we go. do that again. Bezier. So I just put them, these random like this. And there it is. So I can close that off. I could put like something like that in there. We can obviously go in and move these around that we need to smarten that up a little bit. That's cool. So when we come back out of this perspective drawing mode, we can add some shading in. So we could have like, you know, this getting a bit darker up here if we wanted to. I could leave that as the curb. We can also, let's go back to side view. So let's just say obviously the perspective view's out now, but say I wanted to add some windows in here into this building, I could put them all the way down if I wanted to. Like so. So that's cool. You can do what you want here. You get the idea. What else have we got? And I'll finish that one off actually. So we'll close that. And we've got some squares and stuff here as well that we could also bring those in, and we can attach those to the plane. So let's put that into here. Let's do it on this screen. So we'll go object, perspective, drawing perspective mode, 2 point. Let's go worm's eye looking up, bird's eye looking down. So this is going to give us a whole new look. So let's move these out of the way. First of all, I'm going to make sure these are grouped, because otherwise it's going to get a little bit messy. So that these are all objects. We want to view this as let's have a look here. So the top of the building is going to be there, I would say. So first off, we can right click on that and we can say I want this plane to be the top plane. So if that's the case, then this one can come over and we can add this in to, let's just say this is the top plane of the building, and we can stretch that out to fit like so. Clever, very clever. We could then have it coming down the side. So let's go with this one and we go move to plane to the left plane. See, as you bring it down, brings that in to where you want it. So that's what it's saying. This is like you can imagine this is a kid's toy box or something, and you're looking directly down from the top. And you might not want it, you know, that deep, that box. You might want it a little bit shorter, in which case, because you don't have to have it obviously the whole width that I've done there. That's ridiculous. But just, you know, yeah, just for speed really, because we've got obviously quite a lot to get through. And this one here, let's go move to plane to the right left plane. Sorry, right plane. I was right the first time. Sorry, I just jumped out there for some reason. Just was lagging a little bit. Yeah, so on right plane, and then I will drag this up. That, and So you get the idea. You can do what you want with that. My computer is struggling a little bit with that at the moment. But just to give you a bit of an idea, let's do something with not so many images on. You can drop the perspective out there. You have to keep these grouped. If you want to go in and change anything in there, then that's going to change the object. So if we go and ungroup that, break it apart, let's have a look. Ungroup all. We should now be able to. Yeah, you can do what you want with it. You can move that apart, that's okay. So let's just go back finally. Let's have another look at, might make that a little bit easier for you. Drawing perspective, 3-point bird's eye view. So you can just drop in side, put a box in there. Box in there. Can add some additional bits in. Yeah, it's very cool actually. There's lots you can do with this. And that black. Yeah. Change it to side view. So really, you can, the sky's the limit, whatever you want to do with this really. What I would say, if I get rid of this because it's a load of rubbish really, but if you look here, back on the main home screen, they've got this packaging, and you can actually go in there and you can edit and have a look at how the perspective has been set up. So if you, let's just say I took those stars off there and I wanted to add on a circle, then I can actually draw that in their plane. So this one here, if I wasn't to add that in, I know that's just looks rubbish, but you know, it gives you the idea that you can actually duplicate. You can change that over from the stars and Control D again, and they all stay on the same plane. So we can position that central, change the 3 of those to white. Might be able to add some text onto that. If I click text, Corel, and click down. Beautiful. So yeah, it's good, and I can finish up. So there's lots of new features there. Sorry, my computer's a little bit laggy at the moment on that because we're recording as well. This is not my normal computer. So if you like these courses, then basically we do a course at SC Workwear Academia, which has got lots and lots of videos about CorelDRAW. It's basically designed towards starting a t-shirt printing business. I'll leave a link below if you want to, and hopefully you enjoyed this. This is some of the new key features on Corel 2021. There's going to be loads more that we find, but it's only been out an hour, so this is all new to us. We've just had to play around with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.